Hi, and thanks for joining me today for this little yoga practice. Just a mid-length practice today, nothing too onerous, but enough time to get into, I guess, the present, which is really the point of our practice. So we're using the body really just to steady the mind. Remember, as you go through the practice, to try to breathe just through your nose and keep your breath fairly regulated and calm. Remember, you can rest whenever you need to. If you need to take some simple variations of postures, that's fine as well. Remember, it really is your practice and it'll be different from day to day. So the most important thing is that you end up finishing the practice feeling calmer, more relaxed, and at the same time more alert than how you started. Remember, if you like the practice and you'd like to join some more, you can subscribe to the channel. If you've got any comments or questions, please let me know and I'll be happy to get back to you. So, with that being said, let's start with a little child's pose forward stretch. So just toes together, knees just a little wider than the ribs. Keep your hands shoulder width or a little wider. And see if you can reach your hands forward as the hips move back. Try to rest your forehead on the floor. If you can't quite get there, that's okay. But work towards getting the forehead and eventually the chest to the floor. And just give yourself one more breath here. And after breathing out, place your left hand onto your right. So don't move the right hand, keep it out a little to the side. And as you bring the left hand over, you should feel a stretch down the left side of the body, particularly around the shoulder. If you can, try to breathe gently into the left side ribs. And just give yourself one more breath here. After breathing out, come back to the center and then go the other way. So now lengthening through the right side of the body. Try to keep the shoulders away from the ears so you're creating some width across the upper back as well. Keep walking the right fingers forward as the right sit bone moves back. And give yourself just one more slow breath here. And after exhaling, come back to the center. And then make your way into a kneeling plank position. So your hands are still a little wider than the shoulders, grip the fingertips down. To begin with, just drop your head down, press up between the shoulders, and just give your neck a little stretch on either side. And bring the head back to neutral and start to take some circular cat stretches. So it's like your head and your tailbone are staying fairly still and the middle of your spine's moving in a circle. And then go back the other way. Try to keep that movement fairly smooth and steady. You might find it's a little easier in one direction than the other. And make your way back to the center. And flip your right hand over, giving the back of the wrist a little stretch. So the weight here is on your left hand and your right hand, just gently stretching the wrist. And after breathing out once more there, just swap and do the same on the other side. So grip the fingertips of the right hand to stabilize the wrist, and then just flip the left hand, palm up, fingers pointing back. Make sure that the right elbow remains unlocked and the shoulders away from your ears. And after breathing out once more, just release the left hand. You can either choose to stay in kneeling plank, or if you're comfortable, you can lift up to full plank, keeping the shoulders just a little higher than the hips. And give yourself one more calm breath here. And then press back into downward facing dog. So remember, here in down dog, feet hip width and parallel, hands shoulder width, or a little wider if you need. See if you can let the head drop down. Maybe again, give your head a gentle roll side to side. So there's no tension in the neck. And start to gently pedal out through your legs, so you're finding a different stretch in the calves and the ankles. Keep breathing steadily through the nose. And come back to a steady, static down dog just for a breath or two. See if you can roll the shoulders wide. And after breathing out, just walk your feet to your hands, bending the knees a little bit perhaps, let your body hang forward, making sure that the ribs and thighs are together here to keep the lower back nice and safe. You can even just lift up and place the hands on the knees with the back straight if you prefer. So take one more breath. And after you exhale, press your hips forward and stand up. Reach up high to your fingers and look up if it feels okay. Then interlacing your fingers, press up through the palms. Taking one more breath, see if you can pull the elbows back and lift the collarbones up. And then bring your hands gently down. And at the front of your mat, step your feet together. With the shoulders a little roll back. Gently breathe out all the way. And then with the backs of your hands together, reach up high as you breathe in. Then folding forward, bend the knees as much as you need. Bring ribs and thighs together. On your next in-breath, lift the collarbones high. Then taking your hands to the mat, make your way back into downward facing dog. You might like to stay here and rest or come back to child's pose. Otherwise, move forward to plank. And you can lower to the knees and do a cat stretch, or you can lower to the stomach or the push-up. From there, first one, I'm just going to lift chest and hands and feet. You could do up dog. And then if you can, hold the breath. Pick up hips and chest at the same time as you breathe out back to down face dog. Take a breath or two here, rolling your shoulders wide. Let the chest gently move back towards the feet. Then raising your heels, look forwards. And bring the feet lightly to the hands. You can walk, step or float. Press the hips forward to stand. Reach the arms up and maybe a little back as you breathe in. And then again, fold your body forward and gently breathe out. As you inhale, lengthen the front of the body. And then step your left foot back to a long kneeling lunge as you breathe out. Breathing in, bring the body up, stretch high to the hands. And sink down into the hips, but keep reaching up through the fingers. On your next in-breath, see if you can arch a little further. And then taking your hands next to the right foot, just move your hips back, ribs and thigh together to stretch the right leg. As you inhale, bend the right knee and raise the left. And picking up your right foot, return to down face dog. So try not to scrape the mat there. You can rest or you can move forward to plank. You can lower knees, stomach or push up and breathe out. You might like to lift chest and hands or maybe take up dog. And then make your way back into down dog and exhale once you're there. Take a breath or two here, lengthening from the hands to the hips. And on your next inhalation, take the left leg up and back, stretching out to the toes. And then step your left foot forward into a long kneeling lunge. Bring your body upright, stretch to the fingers. And with the arms raised, sink deeper into the hips. Taking one more breath in, lengthen from the back knee to the fingertips, looking up if your balance is good. And then take the hands down, and again ribs and left thigh together. Just gently fold over to where you get a stretch. As you breathe in, bend the left knee and raise the right. And step your right foot forward and calmly breathe out. Then standing up, stretch the backs of the wrists, reach the arms up as you inhale. And fold your body forward for the third cycle and gently breathe out. Lifting your collarbones forward, take a breath in. And this time step your right foot back. You can have the knee up or down, your choice. Bring the body up, stretch to the hands as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, bend your elbows and take the thumbs to touch between the shoulder blades. As you inhale, once more raise the arms, look up if it feels okay. Then taking your hands down, fold over the left leg as you breathe out. Hold here for an extra breath. And see if you can press the right heel down and lift the left hip up. As you inhale, gently bend the left knee, and then picking up your foot, step back to downward facing dog. Rest there or move forward into your plank. And smoothly lower down knees, stomach, or push up. Take your version of up dog as you inhale. And holding there, pull the shoulders back as you breathe out. Take one more smooth breath in. Keep the arms strong in up dog, shoulders back. And then make your way back into down face dog. And exhale once you're there. Again, just hold there for a breath or two. And on your next calm inhalation, keep the left heel down but reach the right leg up and back. And then step your right foot forward into the long lunge. Knee up or down, your choice. Standing up, reach the arms high, stretch to the fingers. And as you sink the hips, also squeeze the elbows in and take the hands down behind the back. And raising the arms, take a smooth breath in, look up if your balance is good. And taking your hands to the mat, fold gently over the right leg, trying to keep the hips level. Take another breath here. Relax the shoulders out to the sides, keep the neck soft. Then bending your right knee, look forwards, and step the left foot to meet the right. Stand all the way up, backs of hands together, reach the arms high. And keeping your arms raised, bend the knees and sink to Utkatasana, the half squat. Press your knees forward, the heels down. You want to feel a stretch in the backs of the ankles. Taking one more breath, reach up to the fingertips. And as you breathe out, take a twist to the right. So a simple option, just left hand outside right knee, right hand to the sacrum. Otherwise you can take the left elbow outside right knee. Taking one more breath here, try to keep the knees level and the head centered. As you inhale, come back to the center, reaching the arms high. And then turn to the left as you breathe out. So again, you might take right hand outside the knee, left hand to the sacrum, or you can move into a deeper squat twist if you'd like. Take one more breath, maybe turning a little further. And come back to the center, arms high. And fold the body forward as you breathe out. Lift the collarbones, pull the shoulders back as you inhale. And then step your left foot back into a long lunge. Stand up and reach high to the hands. And as you exhale, turn the back foot and come into warrior two. Try to keep the front thigh horizontal and the body in one plane. And just gently breathe out once more here. As you inhale, raise the arms, stretching up to the fingertips. Then take your left hand down the left leg and right arm over the head into reverse or peaceful warrior. Try to make this a side stretch, not a back arch. And take one more breath, maybe sinking into the front knee. And opening up to warrior two as you breathe in. And then into Parsvakonasana, right elbow down, or if it's easy for you, you can take the right fingers down, but keep your body turned to the side. Press the back foot down as you reach out to the fingers. And just take one more smooth breath here. After breathing out, release the hands down, turn to the toes of the back foot, and then gently lower onto your left knee. Bring the body up, reach through to the hands, and either now just place your hands on your right knee and pull the rib cage back, or if you're comfortable, you can take hold of the left foot and maybe bring heel towards or to the back. Wherever you are, try to pull the shoulders gently back and look for a gentle stretch in left hip and thigh. Gently breathe out once more here. And after breathing out, release the left foot, reach the arms up, and as you exhale, lift the left knee. Bring the hands to the heart, lean forward, and then see if you can bring the left leg horizontal into warrior three. It's a tricky posture. Keep the back leg straight and the hips level. See if you can arch the spine for one more breath. And after breathing out, bring the left foot to the right, reach the arms up high. And then lowering the hands down, pause for a breath. Soften the face and the jaw. And coming back to Utkatasana, stretch up to the hands. And again, press the knees forward, the hips down and back. Take another smooth breath in, reaching up to the fingertips. And again, fold your body forward and calmly breathe out. Hold here for a breath. See if you can lengthen your exhalation. And step the right foot back into a long lunge. Reach up to the hands in the lunge. And as you breathe out, come into Warrior Two on the second side. So try to keep the shoulders pulled down, the face relaxed. Keep a soft gaze over the front middle finger. After your next out breath, reach the arms up as you inhale, and then take the right hand lightly onto the leg and left arm over past the head. Try to lift up through the left side ribs and stay light on the right hand. Take one more smooth breath here, maybe going a little further. As you inhale, come back to Warrior Two, and then exhale into Parsvakonasana, the opposite side stretch. Make sure that this lower shoulder is away from the ear. And again, you can stay on the elbow or you can take the hand down. Wherever you are, look for a side stretch. Just one more smooth breath here. After exhaling, take the hands down, turn to the toes of the back foot, and then gently lower onto your right knee. Bring the body up, stretch through to the fingers, and either take the hands to the left knee or bring right heel to buttock. Wherever you are, pull the shoulders back. Try to think of lengthening from the knee to the throat. Take one more calm breath here. And after you exhale, release the right foot, raise the arms, and as you breathe out, raise the right knee. And bring the hands to the heart, lean forward. And you can just rest on the right toe tip here, but try to raise the right leg and bring the body horizontal, but with a little arch in the spine. Some days are wobblier than others. Take one more breath. And then stand. Reach the arms up, stretch to the fingers. And bring the hands down in front of the heart. Rest for a breath or two. Slow your breath, relax your face and your jaw. And after breathing out, step sideways along your mat, taking the feet about 1.5 meters apart. Sink down into your hips for a couple of breaths. Then take the backs of the hands to the inner knees. See if you can press the shoulders and the knees back and tuck the tailbone under. Take one more breath here. And after you breathe out, take your fingers down underneath the shoulders, spin the heels out so your feet are parallel, and just check that you've got even pressure on the toes and the heels. So you want the sole of the feet nice and evenly weighted. In keeping your feet parallel, just start to give your hips a little rock from side to side. See if you can find a little more stretch for the inner legs. Just going at your own pace. Once you feel you've balanced out both sides, come back to the center, arch the spine for a moment, and then either stay there or start to walk the hands back and take the top or the back of your head towards the floor. Now you might like to just stay there with the hands down, or you could have stayed in the first position. If you're comfortable, you can interlace your hands behind the back. Pull the shoulder blades towards each other and take the hands a little further so there's a shoulder stretch as well as the leg stretch and strengthening. Give yourself one more breath here. 2 if you'd like. After breathing out once more, release the hands down. Again, arch the spine for a moment so you're lengthening navel to throat, and then pull the front ribs gently up. And with your right hand down under your face, take your left hand to the back of the hips. See if you can press down with the left hand to keep the hips steady, but press with the right hand to turn the shoulders. Keep the head centered, the spine neutral, and turn further for one more breath. And after you breathe out, swap and do the same on the other side. So left hand goes down directly under the face, right hand to the hips. Twist to the right gently. So the right hand presses the hips level and left hand turns the shoulders. Take one more smooth breath here. And after breathing out, just gently release the hands down. Lift the collarbones and arch the spine. And bring the chin into the throat. And pressing into your hands, just lift to the tip toes for a couple of breaths. And after your next out breath, just float the feet together. Then let the body fold forward for a couple of breaths in Uttanasana. Try to lift the hips, make sure the lower back remains quite straight. After your next exhalation, gently stand. Reach the arms high, stretch to the fingers. And then bring the hands gently down. Rest for a breath or two. Soften the shoulders and the jaw. And after your next exhalation, just come to standing on your right foot and take hold of the left ankle. See if you can bring the heel to the buttock. Try to keep your knees squeezing together here. So the tendency will be for the knee to want to go out, but try to keep the inner thighs gently active. And as you pull the left foot up, pull the left knee back. Take one more breath here. And after breathing out, let go of the left foot and either come straight into Vriksasana with your foot to the thigh or calf, or if you're comfortable, take the left big toe and see if you can straighten the leg out to the side without lifting the hip. And the right arm just acts as a counterbalance. Wherever you are, lift the collarbones, pull the shoulders and the left knee back. And after exhaling, those who had the legs straight can also come to Vriksasana. Stretch up into the hands. Reach up through the fingertips. And then lower the hands to the heart and release the left foot. And swap into the other side. Grip your left toes down for stability. Then take the right foot back, trying to hold with both hands. Squeeze the right knee inwards, the foot up and the knee back. And try not to let the lower back arch here. Give yourself one more breath here. Maybe taking the right knee a little further back if you can. And after breathing out, try to keep your foot off the floor. Either go to foot to calf or thigh to calf, that was. You know the way it works. And then if you'd like, straighten the right leg out to the side. Keep lifting up through the crown of the head and the collarbones. And just take one more breath here. And then everyone moving into tree posture Vriksasana, foot to thigh or calf. Reach up high to the fingers as you breathe in, stretching through the whole body. And then bring the hands gently down. And release the right foot. Give your knees a little shake. And then step to the front of your mat once more. Bring the backs of the hands together, reach up high as you breathe in. Then take the hands down, folding over the legs as you breathe out. Lift the collarbones forward, pull the shoulders back. And then with hands to the mat, make your way back into downward facing dog. Again, you might like to just rest there. Otherwise, move forward into plank. And smoothly lower the body down. Your version of up dog as you breathe in, pull the shoulders back, chest forward. And then make your way back into down face dog. And exhale there. Again, you might like to just bring a little movement into that posture. Again, relax the face, the jaw, the shoulders. On your next inhalation, roll to right hand and right foot. Reach the left arm high in Vashisthasana. And as you exhale, see if you can thread the left arm under the right. Then again, raise the left arm high. Keep lifting the hips, look up if your balance is good. And then return to downward facing dog. Pause there for a breath. Keep space around the neck. Then roll to left hand and left foot, so right foot's on the left. Reach the right arm up as you breathe in, keep the left elbow strong. And thread the right arm under the left as you breathe out. Fingers on the mat. Reach the arm high once more. Lift the hips and look up if your balance is good. And then return once more to downward facing dog. Pause for a breath here. Let the chest move back towards the feet, opening the shoulders and upper back. And then gently lower to your knees. And with the toes tucked under, just sit for a couple of breaths. Roll the shoulders back. Keep the face relaxed. It's okay to feel a little stretch in the feet. That's why the toes are tucked under. One more breath here. And after breathing out, just cross your ankles. Sit back and come into a cross-legged position with your left leg in front. Or if you know it's easy for you, you can stack the shins, but that's only for those who are more open in the outer hips. Again, reach up into the fingertips and take a little forward fold from cross-legged. So not dissimilar to what we did at the very start of the practice in some respects. But in this cross-legged position, there's a lot more stretch for the outer hips. Keep the shoulders moving wide and try to feel like you're moving the crown of the head and the collarbones forward, not just dropping your head down. As we enter the seated part of the practice, you should be able to slow your breath a little more. Last breath here. After breathing out, gently sit back up, reach the arms high, and interlacing your fingers, press up through the palms. Taking another breath, raise the chin, stretch the throat, and bring the chin in. Bring the hands down. You can either just lean back and swap the legs or pressing through palms or fists. See if you can pick up your hips for a moment. Maybe you can pick up the feet as well. Then swap in mid-air if you can. Lower gently down. And take the same position on the second side. So now it's right leg in front or right shin on top if you took a stacked variation. Reach up into the fingers and then let the body fold forward. Remember that the two sides might not feel the same. As you move through the practice, if you're attentive, you'll get to know all the little idiosyncrasies of your body. The places it moves easily, the places it doesn't. The places where it's strong and the places where it's not. On each inhalation, see if you can find a little length. And on each exhalation, see if you can find a little more softness. Take one more breath here. And after breathing out, again sit back up. Reach your arms high and take the opposite interlace of the fingers, the side that feels a little strange. Press up through the palms. As you take another breath in, pull the elbows back. You can look up if it feels okay. And then gently lower the hands down once more. And again, just rest there with the hands next to the hips, or if you did on the first side, see if you can pick up the hips and maybe the feet for a breath or two. From there, make your way into a squat. So starting with the feet comfortably apart, so about hip width is a good place to begin. And you want your feet roughly parallel here, so don't let the toes turn out in order to get the ankles down, otherwise you miss the ankle stretch. Try and stay fairly parallel. You might just bring the hands to the heart, press the upper arms against the shins. You might find it's better if you take your hands forward, but there should be a sense of the tailbone moving down towards the heels. and eventually the crown of the head moving towards the toes. If you're comfortable, you can bring the feet closer together, and you might be able to take the hands back, maybe holding on to the back of the heels, or hands all the way back with the palms facing up. Take a couple of slow breaths here. A very natural position that most of us are just a little bit unfamiliar with. You can either choose to stay there, or if you'd like to move into Bakasana, just take the hands forward a little wider than the shoulders, bring knees to upper arms. See if you can lean forward and just pick up the feet. So it's a balance, it's not a jump. Take one more breath. And then lowering gently down, sit back, hug the legs into the body and lift the collarbones. Take one more breath here with the feet to the mat, and then see if you can rock back and find a balance point. Last breath here. And after you exhale, take your feet comfortably wide. So please don't go to your maximum side stretch, just something where you feel quite comfortable. And to begin with, take your hands back behind you. See if you can press the chest forward and pull the middle back in. You might like to give your legs a little bit of a roll, a little rock from side to side, just helping to release the inner hips a little. If you can keep your lower back straight, bring the hands now to the heart. We're just going to hold here for 1 or 2 more slow breaths. The legs ideally active, just gently the whole time. After your next out breath, turn to the right. Take your hands either side of your right knee. You might like to just lift the hips and free up the sit bone a little bit. It might be enough just to stay here, but if you feel comfortable, start to bring your body over the right leg. You can take the left hand maybe just to the calf, maybe you can take it to the ankle, or maybe you can take it to the heel. Try to keep the stretch all the way from the tailbone as you perhaps lay the body over the leg a little further. Remember to keep the left leg gently active. Wherever you are, just close your eyes and hold for a few more breaths. Try to allow the body to soften. After your next calm exhalation, gently bring the body all the way back up. Stretch up high to your hands and then go the other way. So start by just taking your hands either side of the left knee. Try and turn your chest to face the left foot. At the same time, keep the right leg gently active, and you might stay there. If you're comfortable, take the right hand to the calf or maybe to the ankle. Remembering the two sides again are probably not the same. Make sure as you move forward that you're not just rounding the back and dropping your head, but rather try to feel like you're moving forward from the heart, from the sternum. Keep the chin to the throat so the back of the neck is long. I know in some traditions they tell you to look at the toes, but in our modern life we already have enough tension in the back of the neck. Much nicer to keep the chin to the throat and the back of the neck soft. Just hold here for a few more breaths. Whenever your mind starts to drift off, just bring it back to your breathing and to the sensation of the postures. And after your next calm exhalation, you can gently bring the body back up. Reach up high to the hands once more. And now take your right hand across to the top of your left thigh. With your left arm reaching high, start to bring your right shoulder towards the right knee and stretch your left arm over your head. Again, keep the left leg gently active so the toes and the knee point up. Pull the left elbow gently back, so you're trying to bring the body in line with the right leg. And if you're more comfortable, you might be able to take the left hand to the outer right foot, But make sure you're focusing on the side stretch, not a hamstring stretch. Pull the front ribs gently in if you're a little bit of a back archer. Keep pulling the left elbow back. If you're very comfortable, right shoulder can go to the inner knee, right hand to the inner heel. Take one more breath wherever you are. And after breathing out, again, just gently bring your body up. Reach high to your hands. And then taking the same on the other side, take your left hand across to the top of the right thigh. With the right arm raised, start to bring your left shoulder towards the left knee. Reach all the way out to your right finger, so don't let the arm just flop. Try and stretch out into your fingertips. Keep pulling the left elbow back. Again, try to keep the body in line with the left leg. And if it's very easy, of course, you can take hold of the outer edge of the foot and pull the right elbow back, whichever option you're in. Keep the face relaxed. If you're tensing the jaw or around the eyes or the mouth, you've probably gone a little bit too far for now. And again, if you did on the first side, you can keep left shoulder to the inner knee, left hand to the inner heel. Just a last breath or two here, lengthening all the way from the right foot to the right hand. And after breathing out, just gently release from wherever you are. Bring your body up, stretch high to the hands, and then moving into a twist. Take your left hand outside your right knee. Have the body fairly upright, the spine neutral. You can choose to stay here, but if it's easy for you, with your right hand turn the palm up, take the arm behind you, then see if you can turn it in and take hold of your inner left thigh. And if that's easy for you, you might be able to start to slide the left hand down towards the shin, or maybe to the ankle or outer heel. But make sure that you're trying to sit back up. So it's not a forward bend here, it's a twist. And we're using the arms to deepen that twist. Try to keep breathing with the belly as well as the chest. This is a relatively open twist, so not too much constriction of the abdominal space. Give yourself one more breath. And after you exhale, unravel. Come back to the center, reach the arms up high. And then twist into your left. Take the right hand outside the left knee, left hand to the floor behind you. Try to have the spine quite upright. And as you look over your left shoulder, lift the left ear. Again, either stay there or now, take the left hand palm up first, wrap it around behind you, turning the shoulder in, and see if you can hold inner right thigh with left hand, and pull the left shoulder back. If that's comfortable, maybe take the right hand down towards the calf or shin, or maybe towards ankle or heel. So remember, if you can't bind the left hand onto something, then you're better off just to stay with the fingers on the floor. We want to make sure that the arms are helping to deepen the twist. Again, try to breathe steadily through the nose to the belly. As you exhale, just see if you can move a tiny bit further into the space left by the breath. Just one more breath here. And after exhaling, turn your head to the right, unravel the body, reach the arms up high. And then either bring the hands to the heart, or just for a couple of breaths, start to bring your body forward, maybe just resting onto the elbows, or maybe just onto the hands. Just go to where you feel comfortable. One more breath wherever you are. And after you breathe out, Gently walk the hands back in. Pick up your inner knees. Bring the arms around the shins, maybe putting the opposite arm on top to what you normally would. And start with your feet on the floor. Squeeze the knees outwards to begin with. And then gently squeeze them inwards. And walking the feet back in, find your balance point and close your eyes. So you're trying to feel the balance point without any visual reference. Brahmandasana, the cosmic egg. Take one more breath. And after you exhale, bring your feet to the floor. And then via whatever method works for you, just come to lying down gently on your back. You might like to rest with the feet wide and the knees together for a few breaths. And just rest the hands on the belly. You can stay still, or you might like to give the knees a gentle rock side to side. From there, bring your feet flat, hip width and parallel. Stretch your arms past your head. And just moving in and out of first bridge position a couple of times. As you breathe in, press through the feet and lift the hips high. And as you breathe out, just gently bring the hips back down. As you lift up, make sure the toes stay pressing down. And you'll need to gently squeeze the knees towards each other, otherwise they'll tend to splay out. Just lift and lower once more in time with the breath. And the next time you breathe in, lift the hips up and take the hands by the sides of the body, either palms pressing down, or if you can, interlace the fingers, heels of the hands together, and move into second bridge position. And here we want to try and bring the shoulder blades a little closer together, so you're gently rocking side to side. Keep the chin to the throat, the shoulders relaxed. Take one more breath here. Then, keeping the body where it is, see if you can swap the hands to the opposite interlace. Press up through the fronts of the thighs, the front of the hips. Keep lifting the collarbones towards the chin, but keep the chin to the throat. Take one more breath here. And after breathing out, release the hands and just lower to the mat once more. Have another rest, maybe hands on the belly, maybe hands by the sides. Take one more breath here. And then either choose to remain resting or repeat first bridge or second bridge. If you're comfortable, lift the hips up. See if you can bring the heels of the hands under the sacrum, fingers and thumbs all pointing out in third bridge. Now, this is not an easy posture for most people. So if it brings any discomfort to the lower back, or if you can't get the heels of the hands a little bit towards the sacrum, you're better to repeat a good second bridge rather than a dodgy third bridge. Keep gently squeezing the knees in. And you can choose to stay where you are. If you're in second bridge, you might swap the hands again. If you're comfortable, you can lift into Urdhva Dhanurasana, the upturned bow. Taking the hands next to the shoulders, keep pressing through the toes, lift the hips. And try to lengthen the front of the body. Work towards straight legs, even if you don't get there. Keep pressing up through the front of the hips and the chest. Hold for one or two more breaths. And then gently release. Lower to the mat. Give the wrists a stretch if you've been in third bridge or the arch. And then stretch your right leg out along the floor and hug the left knee gently to the body. Start just by either making little circles with your knee or rocking it side to side. If you're circling, make sure you go both ways, so a few rounds in each direction. And if you're not doing stomach work, stay there. Otherwise, come into a half sit-up, just lifting the head and the shoulders off the floor. Either stay there or press the toes forward to sit up a little higher. Take one more breath. And after breathing out, lie back down, stretch the left leg out, and hug the right knee gently to the body. Staying here is fine. Just circling the knee or rocking it side to side, just a simple release for the lower back and the lower hips. Otherwise, just lift the head and shoulders into a half sit-up. Keep the chin to the throat so you're strengthening the muscles of the throat. And if you would like to, you can press the foot forward to sit up a little higher. And just take one more breath. Gently lie down, stretch the right leg out. Maybe give the hips a little shuffle side to side. Then making cactus arms or with your arms straight out to the sides, bring your feet hip width and parallel. Try to keep your shoulder blades on the floor and just give the knees a little rock from side to side. So you want to try and let the outer leg reach the floor. And it should be quite soft here. Don't try and control the movement too much. Just let gravity take over as the legs just rock side to side. Coming back to the center. Bring one hand onto each knee and start to make little circles, keeping your knees over the hips. And changing direction, go back the other way. And hug the knees a little more tightly to the chest. And if you feel comfortable, come into a half sit up once more. Take another breath. And then gently lying down. Stretch out into fingers and toes once more, lengthen through the whole body. You might like to take the hands to the right for a little bit, the feet to the right for a little bit, just stretching the left side. Just a couple of breaths there. And then go back the other way, or just stay in the central position if that's what you prefer. Again, come back to the middle, reach through the whole body. Either take traditional Shavasana with the hands by the sides of the body, or you might prefer to place the hands on the lower belly. If your lower back is sensitive, generally better to take the knees to bend, feet wide, with the toes turned slightly in and just let the knees drop together. And if you prefer, you can sit rather than lying down to finish the practice. So whatever you do, make the body comfortable. And then with closed eyes, take an inner focus into either the heart space or the eyebrow center. Keep the tongue gently to the roof of the mouth. Just behind the upper teeth is enough. And then without taking a formal rhythm, start to lengthen and deepen your breath. By lengthening your breath, I mean slowing down its overall rhythm. By deepening your breath, I mean taking your breath to deeper parts of your lungs. Trying to breathe down lower, out wider, up higher. Trying to breathe in the back of the body as well as the front. As well as lengthening and deepening your breath, try to make it smoother and calmer, so the sound of each in and out breath is fairly consistent from the beginning through the middle to the very end. And when you notice that your attention has started to drift off, it's important not to get frustrated. It's equally important not to just let the mind drift off, but keep choosing to bring your focus back again and again and again onto your breath. And I'd like you to take 3 more conscious breaths in your chosen rhythm. Slowly and deeply in and out. And once you've finished the 3rd exhalation, see if you can maintain a focus on your breath, but remove your involvement from it. So you're observing, alert and attentive, but not involved, not affected, not controlling in any way. And for the remainder of the practice, just see if you can let the body effortlessly rest against the mat. Let your breath rest quietly at the abdominal centre in its own rhythm, coming and going as it pleases. And let the mind just follow the rise and fall of the breath, without the need to analyse or change or get involved in any way. And gradually let body, breath and mind return to stillness. Sarvamangala Mangalye Shive Sarvata Shadike Sharanye Triambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om. So you can remain resting as long as you'd like. When you do decide to move, just do so by first of all lengthening your breath, coming back to inner movement. And after a few deeper breaths, when you're ready, you can bring movement gently back to fingers and toes, reawakening and connecting with the whole body. To sit back up, just gently bend your knees, roll onto your side and rest for a few breaths. And then come back to a comfortable seated position with eyes closed for a little bit. Just give the body time to get used to being upright. And take a few moments just to acknowledge how you are after the practice in body, mind and heart. And see if you can remain connected to the sense of quiet mind as you move through the activities of the day. Thank you for allowing me to share the practice with you. Namaste.